have the number of the nucleons and number of protons and chemical symbol. So the number of nucleons are represented by the letter A, and then the number of protons are represented by the letter Z. For example, the iron nucleus, which has 26 protons and 30 neutrons, is donated as 56 all over the 26. Okay, where the atomic number is Z is equals to 26, the mass number A is equals to 56, the number of neutrons is simply difference. Neutrons is equals to A minus Z is equals to 30. So nucleons is like saying proton plus the neutron. So here they want the number of neutrons. In order for you to find the number of neutrons, you have to take the number of the mass number and minus it by the atomic number. Okay, you have to say mass number minus the atomic number, which will give you the answer, which is 30. So it is 56 minus 26, and you get the answer of neutrons. Okay, so nucleons is neutrons plus the protons. So in order for you to find the neutrons, you have to say mass number minus atomic number. So atomic number is the number of mass number is the number of nucleons. Nucleons is A. You have to note that. So atomic mass is the number of nucleons, while atomic number is the number, which is the number. For neutral atom, the number of electrons is same as the number of protons. So since the charge on the atom must balance. But what happens if an atom gains or loses electrons? Does it mean that the atom will still be part of the same element? A change in the number of electrons of an atom does not change the type of an atom that it is. However, the charge of the atom will change. Actually, if the electrons are gained or lost, the type of atom will not change, but the charge of an atom will change. The neutrality of the atom has changed. If electrons are added, then the atom will become more negative. If the electrons are taken away, then the atom will become more positive. The atom that is formed in either of these two cases is called an ion. So the atom that is formed in either of these two cases is called an ion. An ion is a charged atom. For example, a neutral sodium atom can lose one electron to become a negatively charged chlorine. As you can see, this one is a chlorine. Another example is lithium, positive lithium, which has lost one electron and now has only 2 electrons instead of 3. Or considered F minus, which has gained 1 electron and now has 10 electrons instead of 9. So you have to understand that if an atom loses an electron, it doesn't change the element. It doesn't change, the elements will stay the same, but the charge will change. Let's say A neutral chlorine atom has gained one electron to become negatively charged in ion. So it has gained one electron. As you can see, it has gained one electron. Another example is lithium, which has lost one electron and now has only two electrons. So this lithium has lost one electron and has only two electrons instead of a three. Instead of a three. Or consider um, fluorine, fluor, uh, fluorine, which has gained one electron and now has 10 electrons instead of 9 electrons. So the sodium fluoride has gained one electron. Sodium fluorine has gained one electron and now has 10 electrons in. Okay, it to have 10 electrons instead of a 9. Just say, for example, a fluoride has negative 9 electrons. You know that electrons is in a negative number. Let's say a negative 9 plus a negative 1, and you get a negative 10 electrons. So when you're working with electrons, you are going to use the negative numbers. Okay, let's go to this another example. Let's say a neutral sodium atom can lose one electron to become a positively charged sodium. So this sodium have to lose one electron, and it have to use one electrons so that it can become positively charged. So it can become positively charged sodium. And then another example is a neutral chlorine. Neutral means zero. Atom can gain one electron. So it gain one electron to become negatively charged, which is true. So in order for you to find if it's negatively charged, let's say a chloride, which is zero. A neutral means zero, and then they said it gain, you said plus sign. After that it is gain, you have to say plus negative 1, which is the electrons, and it become the negative chloride. So those atoms or elements did not change, they just changed their charges. Their charges has changed. So in the previous example, which I was saying, oh, how to find a neutron's name, how to find a neutrons, you have to say atomic number. In your predictable, it will appear vice versa because they'll put a number of protons at the top and number of nucleons at the bottom. Okay.